Okay, so just to remind you guys, and you're adding this to your comp book, that whenever I have 3 to the power 4, 3 is called the base, 4 is called your exponent. If I expand that, I would have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Since 3 to the 4th power has no equal sign, what you're going to do is you're going to simplify it. It's an expression, so you will be simplifying it. And when you do that, your final answer is 81. Yes? Oh, just sit tight. Okay. Let's talk about that 0 exponent. Let me ask you this. If I read the rule here, it says that any non-zero number raised to the power of 0 will equal 1. Will that always happen? Will my answer always be 1 if it's raised to the power of 0? Why not?
Yes. Because it could be a negative number.
Okay. Well, let's... Okay, I'm going to tell you that what this says is very true. I'll tell you why. Let's say I take negative 16, raise that to the power of 0. What will you get?
Negative 1.
Negative 1, which does not quite go with what I was just telling you, right? What is the 0 raising? What is that power to? What is it being applied to? Is it being applied to the negative 16, or is it just being applied to 16?
16.
It's only being applied to 16. So if that's the case, what does that negative go with? What number can I put there that doesn't affect the value of this right here?
One.
1. So basically you have negative 1 times 16 raised to the power of 0. Well, now what is 16 raised to the power of 0? 1.
Oh, yeah.
1. And 1 times negative 1 will give you negative 1. So does that still go with what my rule says?
Not yet.
It does now, because my 0 is being applied to only the 16, not negative 16. Now, what if I were to put that in parentheses? Negative 16 raised to the power of 0. Now the 0 is being applied to the 16 and the negative sign. What will the result be? 1. So there's a difference between why, or that explains why sometimes you get that negative 1 as an answer. It's because you don't have the parentheses, and the 0 is technically still just being applied to the 16. You still get that positive 1 answer, but then you multiply it with the negative 1 to get the negative 1 as your final. Okay? Give y'all a second to finish writing this down, and there's 3 examples that have 0 as an exponent. Okay, the next piece. Let's talk about having a negative exponent. In this whole section of this whole unit that we're working on, I do not want you to give me a negative exponent in your final answer. So no negative exponents. The only time you'll see it is when you're writing scientific notation. Okay? This is what you will do. When you have a non-zero number raised to a negative exponent, it's going to be equal to 1 divided by that number raised to the opposite, which is positive exponent. It's very wordy, but I'm going to do some examples to explain it. Okay. Two examples. Put a little star here. This is what you need to remember. You do not want any negative exponents. So if I have 3 raised to the power of negative 2, that really means I have 1 over 3 to the positive 2, which is equal to 1/9. I can simplify that. I can take it one more step. And then I have 2 raised to the power of negative 4. That 2 to the power of negative 4 just goes on bottom, and now my exponent turns to positive. And since there are no variables in here, you can go in and simplify that. One more step. Okay? If you're close to the bottom of your page, you're going to want to switch over to the next clean page. If you're not, you can continue on this page. We're going to do 10 problems together. Now these are going to feel a little awkward and uncomfortable at first, but once you start doing these a little bit more, you'll get the hang of it. Now, I can take these 2 problems the way they are and plug it into my calculator. That's not always going to be the case. If I have variables in here, I will not be able to plug it into the calculator. So now I'm going to throw in some letters of the alphabet, making math more fun. Okay. You need it? Here. Number 1, your first example. And I'm going to try to give you as many different possibilities or many different situations that you'll be seeing in the next day or 2. Number 1, I have k raised to the power of negative 4. First question, do I have a negative exponent?
No. Yes, yes.
I do. I have a negative exponent. I'm not allowed to have negative exponents in this situation, so what am I going to write my answer as? What is it going to be, Thomas? It now becomes the denominator of a fraction. You can do these with us, okay? Or go grab your dry erase board. Okay? Number 2. I have 3 x to the power of negative 8. Does the negative 8, that exponent, is it affecting the 3? No. Is it affecting the x?
Yes.
Yes. So what am I going to do with that x? Okay, divide it. So now I have 3 as my numerator. X to the power of 8 is in the denominator spot. Thanks. Just catch up with us here, okay?